secret or hides top secret information.
And it was the Lady G-Men taking a 60-48 win. Hello and welcome to Brown County Rewind for the week of October 15th. I'm Brian Peck and here's the latest. The Brown County Grand Jury met in Georgetown last week and handed out indictments to 16 area individuals. Among those indicted were Eric Jones, 32 of Batavia, and Charles Marshall, 35 of Georgetown, for allegedly causing serious harm to two individuals in a fight outside Victory's Bar on East Cherry Street in Georgetown. According to indictment information, on September 12th, Georgetown police officers discovered Mike Liming and John Farrell, both of Georgetown, wounded at the scene. Both Liming and Farrell had been severely beaten and had multiple knife wounds. Jones and Marshall were indicted for multiple counts of felonious assault, a second-degree felony. For the complete indictment list, see the Thursday News Democrat on store shelves now. The Ripley Neighborhood Watch held their second Health and Safety Day last weekend, giving area residents a chance to come and meet with the various emergency services present in Brown County. Among those in attendance were Health Source of Ohio, HealthQuest, Buckeye Search and Rescue, the Brown County Sheriff's Office, Emergency Ham Radio Operators Club, and the Ripley Fire Department, and more. According to Linda South with the Ripley Neighborhood Watch, the group is planning to do the event again next year as well. Conflict over the Aberdeen water system is heating up as the November 2nd election approaches. Two groups of residents have gone head-to-head. The first group, known only as Team Aberdeen, launched a website this week promoting a yes vote on an upcoming ballot issue that would require Aberdeen to sell their water system to the highest bidder. The second group, called Aberdeen Citizens for Honest Government and Clean Water, has started a flyer campaign promoting Aberdeen's current water treatment plant project. For more information, see the full story in the Ripley Bee on store shelves now. We now go to Michael Arthur with more news.
Thank you, Brian. More than 36 dogs were removed from a home on Tri-County Highway between Sardinia and Mount Orab this week, and their owner is facing multiple charges of animal cruelty and failure to properly register and tag the animals. Terry Lee Hamilton is reportedly a breeder who specializes in Chihuahuas and rented the two-story Tri-County Highway house where 38 dogs were removed by law enforcement officials and volunteers on Monday. She didn't live there, but neighbors reported that Hamilton would stop by once or perhaps twice a week to drop off food and water. The Brown County Animal Shelter and the Humane Society had received complaints about the residence, including reports of dogs running loose outside and a very putrid smell. Armed with a warrant and protected by hazmat suits, volunteers who went into the home reported seeing feces piled inches thick on the floor and furniture and countless holes in the walls. They also discovered a freezer containing the bodies of 25 to 50 dead dogs, which was particularly disturbing for some volunteers considering the fact that the house had no electricity. The animals were extracted by volunteers with the Humane Society and a response organization called Tri-State CART, and with the assistance from Adams County Dog Warden Paul Hughes. A Brown County Sheriff's deputy was also on the scene, and an EMS crew was on standby in the event of injuries. All the dogs were examined by a vet and transported to an undisclosed location. Those dogs found in need of medical attention have been treated. A hearing must be held within 10 days of the October 11th extraction to determine the immediate future of the animals. If the court does not return the dogs to Hamilton, a process can begin to relocate or adopt them to permanent homes. Hamilton has contacted the Brown County Prosecutor's Office and expressed a willingness to cooperate, the prosecutor said this week. Photos of the dog have been posted on tristatecart.com, and both rescue organizations will accept tax-deductible donations for their care if anyone wishes to contribute. Read more on the story in the News Democrat, the News Democrat Sunday, or online at newsdemocrat.com. Also this week, some representatives of Sardinia Life Squad approached village council members and township trustees to suggest the creation of a joint fire and EMS district that would serve the village of Sardinia and Washington, Eagle, and Franklin and Jackson townships in Brown County, and possibly Clay Township in Highland County as well. Paramedic Jill Stoltz said a joint fire and EMS district to serve those areas would act as its own independent entity operated by a board of directors comprised of representatives appointed by each participating municipality. Stoltz said consolidating resources within a joint district would provide several benefits, including the potential for more equipment purchases and expansion, and the ability to offer more training and education to its volunteers, which in turn could help with recruitment of emergency responders. The joint district would combine both fire protection and ambulance-based emergency medical services, and all existing structures and equipment, as well as all existing fire and EMS levies, would have to be turned over to the district if one were to be formed, Stoltz said. Supporters of the creation of a joint district are pursuing more in-depth discussions with municipal officials, and Stoltz said feedback so far has been generally positive. She said district supporters will continue to keep township and village officials informed of the effort and of any new developments that may arise. Read more about Stoltz's discussion with Sardinia Village Council in the October 14th edition of the News-Democrat. Fire crews in Ripley and Russellville were busy on Wednesday afternoon as a field caught fire in relatively close proximity to the highway near the US 62-US 68 split. Dozens of firefighters worked successfully to keep the flames from reaching any structures, including a barn and a modular home that were both nearby. Heavy gusts of wind fanned the flames and produced large amounts of smoke that, at times, drifted over the four-lane highway. More details on the fire will be published in the News-Democrat and the Ripley Bee as they become available. Check back with newsdemocrat.com for updates on these stories and more local news coverage. Our website also features over 1,000 images from the 2010 Brown County Fair for readers to view and/or purchase. Look for the button to access the photos on the left-hand rail of our homepage at newsdemocrat.com. Now we go to Wade with sports.
Thanks, Michael. The Eastern Lady Warriors varsity soccer team has earned the Southern Hills League Gold Ball after finishing the regular season with a perfect league record of 8-0. The SHL Gold Ball is only awarded to teams that finish the season with a flawless league record. The Eastern Girls' first-year head soccer coach, Sarah Kohler, and her Lady Warriors clinched the Gold Ball by capping off their regular season with a 4-0 win over West Union Wednesday night. Scoring 2 goals in the win was senior Amber Yockey, while junior Allison Prine and senior Megan Scott fired for 1 goal apiece. In Week 7 on the gridiron, it was the Western Brown Broncos bucking their way to a 28-12 win over the Claremont Northeastern Rockets. Bronco junior quarterback Nick Woodyard broke his own school record set the week before by throwing for 379 yards and 4 touchdowns. Leading Bronco receivers was senior Brad Rhodes, who racked up 214 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Senior wide receiver Jake Banfield was also on the receiving end of 2 touchdown passes. The Broncos led 7-6 at halftime. They would score 3 touchdowns in a big third quarter en route to a 16-point victory. The Broncos stood in an overall record of 4-3 after last Friday's win and were 3-1 in Southern Buckeye Conference American Division play. The Broncos were scheduled to take on the Amelia Barons in Week 8, a battle to determine who takes the number 2 spot in the SBC Big School Division. The New Richmond Lions lead the league with a 4-0 record. The Bethel Tate Tigers dropped to 1-6 with a 31-7 loss to Williamsburg in Week 7 on the gridiron. The Fayetteville Perry Rockets fell to 2-5 with a 36-7 loss to Fairfield Christian Academy. Moving on to high school boys soccer. The Eastern Warriors ended their regular season on a good note Wednesday evening, cruising to a 5-0 victory over the West Union Dragons. Freshman goalie Chase Edmondson recorded his first varsity shutout. Patrick Beckler scored 2 goals in the win. Chase Lawson, Jordan Payne, and Landon Hauke shot for 1 goal apiece. The Warriors ended their regular season with a 5-7-4 overall record and a 3-3-1 Southern Hills League record, and will face North Adams in the first round of the Southeast District Division III sectional tournament. The Georgetown G-men suffered a 3-1 loss to the visiting North Adams Green Devils, with sophomore Kyle Damon scoring the G-men's only goal on Tuesday. In high school volleyball, the Georgetown Lady G-men cruised to a 3-0 victory over East Clinton Thursday night. The Fayetteville Perry Lady Rockets will repeat as league champions, even if they have to share the title with White Oak. The White Oak Lady Cats pinned the Lady Rockets with their first league loss of the season this week, winning the match 4-1. The Lady Rockets dropped to 11-1 in the Southern Hills League, but were still one win ahead of second-place White Oak, who held a 10-2 record. Both teams had one league game remaining on their regular season schedule following this week's match. That does it for sports this week. Good luck to all our athletes. And for more on local sports, be sure to check out the Thursday News Democrat on store shelves now.